Hello everyone, I'm Frank. Welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. And take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Theta by Gerhard1963, who's a channel favorite setter. He makes a lot of really cool puzzles. Usually of the easy to very easy difficulties. Sometimes I think I remember him having a couple average ones, challenging puzzles that I call it. But they're usually of on the easier side, but they're very brilliant usually. Anyways, let's hope this is another one of his brilliant puzzles. Today's puzzle, let's start with the rules. Standard Sudoku rules apply. The digits 1 through 9 appear in every row, column, and box. Region sum line. The sum of the digits on a blue line within a particular region must be the same for all of the regions the line passes through. Another way of putting this is to say that the box borders that divides a region sum line into regions with the same sum. So basically, a box border would be dividing this line into these 3 digits and these 3 digits. So as an example, you could have something like 3, 5, and 7, and then, I don't know, 2, 4, and 9. And these 3 digits would add up to 15, and these 3 digits would add up to 15, which are the same sum, right? So again, box borders divide every region sum line into regions which add up to the same sum. That's why they're called region sum lines, obviously. So for example, these 2 digits add up to essentially what this digit adds up to because it's the same sum. And that's how region sum lines work. XV pairs. Digits in cells separated by a V sum to 5. Digits in cells separated by an X sum to 10. Not all possible X's and V's are necessarily given. So for example, if this were a 3, this would have to be a 2 to add up to 5. If this were a 8, this would have to be, well, okay, that doesn't work because this would be 2 2's, but this would have to be a 2 to add up to 10 between the 2 digits, 2 cells separated by an X. And that's how XV pairs work. Roman numeral cages. Numbers in cages connected by a C sum to 100. Numbers in cages connected by a D sum to 500. Cages are read top to bottom or left to right. So basically, you would consider this cage essentially a 2-digit number. And this cage a 2-digit number, which add up to 100, right? So as an example, it could be something along the 36 and, well, okay, that doesn't work. 38 and 62 would work to add up to 100, right? Because 38 plus 62 adds up to 100. So that's how that works. And this would be a 3-digit number, obviously, with a 3-digit number adding up to 500 because they're separate. These cages are separated by a D. And those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. Well, we can't use 62 anywhere here. Well, we know these 3 digits add up to what these 2 digits add up to. I don't think that's the best way of attacking it, actually. Let's go this way. These 3 digits plus these 3 digits, so this is a 3-digit number, and this is a 3-digit number. They have to add up to 500, which means the first digit, which is the 100th digit, must be 1 through 4. So this is 1 through 4. This is 1 through 4. But the problem is this can't be 1 or 2, because if it were 1 or 2, these two digits will not add up to it. And they have to be, these two digits must add up to whatever this digit is. So this has to be 3 or 4 specifically, and this is either 1, 2, or it's 1, 3. Either way, there's a 1 here. Okay, so this is 3 or 4. Well, if it's 4, actually, it can't even be 4, right? So say it was a 4. Well, what three-digit number that has 4 can add up to another three-digit number to add up to 500? You can't, right? So this specifically then has to be 3, which makes this 1 and 2. And this has to be 1, right? Because you can never have 0, 0 here. So you can't have 400 adding up with 100 to add up to 500 here. So this has to be 3 and 1 to add up to 400 and something. And then these two-digit numbers, essentially, which are remaining, must add up to 100 by themselves, right? And that's just simple math, right? You can't have a 400 plus a 100, and you can't have a 300 plus a 200 because zeros are not valid numbers on normal Sudoku. So this has to be specifically 2 or 4 added up with 1 or 3. Well, these two digits must add up to 10 because they have the three-digit numbers have to add up to 500, right? So 2 and 4 has to add up with some number to get to a 0 in the one spot. So this must be 6 or 8 to add up to 10 because that's the only other way you can have that. This is obviously 2, 3, or 4. This could be 1, 2, or 3 correspondingly. This can't be 1, so this must be 3, which makes this a 2, because we have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair in column 4, which eliminates 1 and 2 from the rest of the column. Therefore, this is 3, which makes that 2, which makes this an 8. Okay, what else do we have here? These two digits must add up to 9, because we already have 10 in the ones digit, so that adds 1 as a carryover to the tens digit, so therefore these two must add up to 9. Well, what are the only two digits now available that can add up to 9? It's specifically 4 and 5. So this is 4 or 5, and this is 4 or 5. Well, we now have all the digits 1 through 5 and also 8 accounted for in column 3. So the remaining digits have to be 6, 7, or 9. So this is 6, 7, or 9. This is 6, 7, or 9. But this specifically cannot be 9, right? Because similarly to these three-digit numbers, these two-digit numbers have to add up to 100. And if you have a 90-something, you can't have 90, period, with 10 to add up to 100. So, and therefore, it would have to be at least 94. And therefore, this would be not a two-digit number. So this can't be 9. So this cannot be 9. This has to be specifically 4 through 9, right? But if this is a 5, it would also require a 5 to be here to add up to a 0, right? Which would be 10, essentially. So this cannot be 5. The 4 could be with a 6. The 6 could be with a 4 to add up to 10. The 7 could be with a 3, but we already have a 3 here, so this cannot be 7. The 8 could be with a 2, and the 9 could be with a 1 to add up to 10. And we know these two digits must add up to 9 specifically because we already have the ones digits adding up to 10. So we have a carryover for the 1 to add up with these two digits to add up to 10, which would be 100, right? And you can't have a 3 here. You could have a 2 and a 7. The other possibility would be 3 and 6, but that's not possible. So this must be 2, which makes this a 7. This can't be 2 anymore, which means this can't be 8, right? Because so this is either 21, 79, 24, 76, or 26, 74. This can no longer be 7. This can't be 7. So this is 6 or 9. This is 6 or 9. This has to be, again, it cannot be 4 because of what we saw here. Actually, it specifically has to be 1 or 3. And this has to be 1 or 3 also. So this has to be 2 or 4 to add up to 5 here. Right? Because this has to add up to 400 and something for the hundreds digits. Because these two will naturally add up to 100 for the rest. It can't add up to 200, so therefore it can't be 1 and 2. Because these are only at most 99 plus 98, technically. 99 plus 99, technically, so that would be 198, but that can't add up to 200 specifically. So therefore, this must be 1 and 3 and 1 and 3. Okay, what else do we have? If this is a 4, this would then have to be a 6. Excuse me. And if that were the case, these 3 digits would add up to 2, 6, and 7, which would be 15. And 4 with another digit can never add up to 15, right? 4 would have to add up with 11 to add up to 15. So this can't be 4, which means this can't be 6. If this is 2, 1, and 7, that adds up to 10. This would have to be a 9 to add up to 100 between these two cages. So this would be 9 and 1 here, if that were the case. If this is 2, 4, and 7, this would be 76, right? 24 plus 76 adds up to 100. So 2, 4, and 7 adds up to 13. Is that right? 2 and 4 and 7 add up to 13. 6 plus 7 adds up to 13. So therefore, this is 1 or 7 specifically. Okay. What else do we know? This can't be 2, so therefore this can't be 3 to go along with this V domino. Oh, these... So if this were a 5, that would mean this adds up to 14. So if it's 185, this adds up to 14. This would be then 4 and 2. So this would have to be 8 if that were the case. If this is 184, that would add up to 13. This would be then 2 and 5. And this would therefore have to be 6, right? 2, 5 plus 6 adds up to 13. And then 184 would add up to 13. So then these would be the equivalents there. Let's see. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out limiting factors. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4 again, but this can't be 3, so this can't be 2. This cannot be 1, 2, or 3 because of what's here. This is 1 or 2. So this has to at least be 3 and 4, which adds up to at least 7. So this is at least 7. This could be 8 or 9. Well, we have a 1, 3, 1, 3 pair in column 7. So this digit can never be 1 or 3. But to add up to a 0 in the ones digit, you have to have a 1, 2, or 3 here. So this cannot be 1 or 3. This then has to be a 2, which forces this to be 1, which makes that a 2. This then has to be 8, which makes this specifically 3 and 5. This can't be 1, so this can't be 4. These two digits, again, must add up to 9, because these two digits add up to 10, which means we have a carryover in the tens digit. So again, these two add up to 9, and we have 1, 2, and 3 eliminated already in the column. So again, these have to be 4 and 5. Well, interesting. If this is 4, This cannot be 3 here because this is either 3 or 4 specifically here. So if this is 4, it would have to be with a 1 here. But the problem is, then this would have to be 5 and 3. And 2, 1, and 4 adds up to 7. And 5 and 3 adds up to 8 with another digit here. So that's not possible. So this cannot be 4. This has to be then 5, which makes this a 4. If this is 1, this would be 3, and therefore this would be 1. If this is a 3, this would have to be 1, and this would be 5. But either way, there has to be a 1 in one of these two cells, right? If this is 1, this has to be 3, and these 3 adds up to 8. So this would have to add up to 8 also, which would mean this was 4, 3, and 1. But if this is 5, 3, and 2, this has to be a 1. So this is 1, 4, and it could be with 5. But either way, one of these has to be a 1, which means this cannot be 1. This has to be 7. This can't be 1, so this must be 2. Because one of these two is a 1. Therefore, this is a 3. This can't be 3, so this is 1. That forces this to be 3, and that forces that to be 1. The 3 can only add up with 2 to add up to 5. This is 7 again. And 7 and 9 does not add up to 7 plus 1 plus 2. So it must be specifically 6 and 7 adding up to 2, 4, 7. Where is the 4 now in row 2? Can't be any of these cells because of this 4. Can't be any of these cells because of this 4. And it can't be either of these cells because it's already filled out. So this must be the 4. And let's see. What about this 10? Actually, let's look at this. The remaining cells in column 7 must be 6, 7, and 9. And this specifically can't be 6 or 7, so this must be 9, which means these are 6 or 7. Now, the ones digit can be 6 or 7, so that must add up with another digit to add up to 10. So this is 3 or 4. These two digits must add up to 9. So this is 4, 5, 6. It cannot be 6 or 7, and it cannot be 8. Because we have a 6, 7 pair in box 9, and we also have an 8 there. So this can't be 6, 7, 8. It cannot be 9 because 90x 93 or 94 cannot add up to with a 2-digit number to add up to 100. So this is specifically then 4 or 5, which means the other digit has to also be 4 or 5 to add up to 100 between these two cages. Well, we have a 4, 5, 4, 5 pair now in row 9, which eliminates 4 and 5 from the rest of the row. So this can't be 4 anymore, so therefore this must be 3, which makes this a 7. That's 3 in the corner. We celebrate because we know it's either 47 added up to 53 to add up to 100, or it's 57 with 43 added up to 100 again. And this must be a 6. This can't be a 6 anymore, so this has to be an 8. Since this is 8 and 2, it must be 4 here and 5 here to make sure that these region sum lines add up to the same sum. Okay. What are we looking for here now? The rest of this column cannot contain 3, 4, 5, or row cannot contain 3, 4, 5, or 7. And this can't be 2, and these can't be 2. So where's 2 in row 9? It has to be here. So this is a 2. This can be 1, 6. Where's the 8 then in the rest of row 9? It can't be here. It can't be any of these. So that must be here. So this is an 8. And the rest of the row must be 1, 6, or 9. Well, we have a 1, 6, 9 triplet now in box 7, which eliminates 1 from the 1, 6, and 9 from the rest of the box. So this can't be 1. This must be a 3, which means it must add up with 2 to add up to 5. This can't be 5 because we have a 3, 5 pair in column 6, so therefore this must be 4, which makes this a 5. We have 3, 5, and 7 here, adding up to 15. Well, what 3 digits can add up with 2 and 4 to add? What digit can add up with 2 and 4 to add up to 15? It has to be 9. So this is a 9. The rest of these cells are 5 and 7. Let's see. Remaining digits. This cannot be 3 or 5. So where is the 5 in box 8? It has to be one of these two cells, which means this can't be a 5, so this must be 7, and this must be 5. Well, where's the 7 in box 8? It can't be any of these cells now, so it must be here. So this is a 7. Now, where's the 7 in the rest in box 5? Can't be any of these cells, can't be any of these cells because of these 7s, and can't be these two because they're already fixed, so this must be a 7. The rest of these cells have to be specifically 1, 5, and 6. Well, this can't be 1 or 6, so this must be 5. None of these can be 5 then, and we have a 1, 6 pair here. The rest of these cells have to be 2 and 9, but this can't be 2, so this is a 9. That must be 2. The rest of these cells are 1 and 4. This can't be 1, so this is 4, and this is 1. And now, well, I don't know if it's a matter of Sudoku yet. This is 2 digits that add up to 10 also. And it cannot be 2, 8 or 3, 7. So it's specifically 1 and 9. So it could be 1, 9 here. Or it's 4 and 6, in which case this is 4 and that's 6 because this can't be 4 here. Where is the 8 in column 1? Can't be any of these cells because of that 8. Can't be any of those cells because of that 8. It can't be any of the domino because that would require 2 to be with it. So it has to be here. So this is an 8. And that's just normal Sudoku. What's the remaining cells in column 8? It has to be 6, 7, and 8. And this can't be 6 or 7, so this must be 8. This can't be 7, so this is 6, and therefore this is 7. This can't be 5, so this is 3, which makes that a 5. These three numbers have to be 5, 6, and 7. And again, this can't be 6 or 7 because of this 6 or 7, so this is 5. This can't be 7, so this must be a 6, which makes that a 7. This 6 means this can't be a 6, so this is 9 by Sudoku. This has to be a 5. This is a 1, 6 pair here. This specifically has to be 1 or 3. But this can't be 3, so this must be a 1, which makes that a 3. This 1 means this is a 6 by Sudoku. That's a 1. The remaining digits here have to be, well, this specifically has to be 9. And these are 5 or 8. And this can't be 5, so this is 8, which makes that a 5. The last digit here is a 9. So this can't be 9, which makes that a 4. And makes that a 6, which makes that 1. So this can no longer be 6. This can't be 9, so this is a 6. This can't be 6 or 1, so this must be 9, which makes that a 1. And now we just do Sudoku. So therefore this has to be 4, 8, or 9, but this can't be 4 or 9, so therefore this is 8. The remaining digits here are 6 and 7, but this can't be 7, so this is 6, this is 7. That last digit must be a 6. This is 3 or 9, but this can't be 3, so this must be a 9, which makes that a 3. This is 4 and 8, which means this can't be 8, so this is 4, so this must be an 8. The last remaining digit here is a 9, and the last digit here is a 4. And it's all cool and good. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Just, I like... These are essentially sort of larger extensions of the V's and X's, right? Because the 1's digit have to add up to 10, essentially. The 10's digit has to add up to a 9, which is interesting. And then for the D's, the 100's digits have to add up to 4. Very interesting. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve. And I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.